What's going on, everybody? We're back at work on a snowy Friday here. While we were gone at the fruit show this week, we had the guys keep working on the fencing, and they got all the corners in, and now we're running the guide wires for us to clip the actual fence to hold it up while we're rolling the fence out. And then we're going to go back behind and put the post in the ground with the machine. So the first thing they do is hook the wire up to the corner post, and they drive by. Got this, hold on, spinning Jenny on the Ranger. And it spins it out, and they drive from a corner here to a corner down on the other end. So from last week's video, we rented this PC80. It's got the vibrator on the front. We got the loader over here in the corner, and he's got the bundles of the posts. And as this line gets finished, we'll walk and we'll throw the posts out on the ground. The amount of distance, I forget what the gap is from there to there. We'll put those out, and then we'll go back, pick them up each one by one, stand them up, and then we'll pound them into the ground. So like in last video's snowplow, we use our Cat 936 with the forks on it. And these are our bundles, 4x4 or 4x12. That's what we use for the posts in between. The anchors are going to be a little bit bigger. So that's what we use to get these posts from spot to spot. So one thing that happens in the cold, if you don't know, you have to keep the tracks mud free under here. Otherwise they'll get frozen in place and the machine's not going to move. So what we do is you got to shovel those out. We have a track shovel, and then he's going to try and rotate them to make sure that they're free without any weight on it, just to make sure that everything's good. Then we'll get started. So last time they used this, it got put down in the dirt a little bit, and the ring has fallen in, the ring has filled in with dirt. So when you go to push down on it with the post, when the ring's flat, it's just flat. So the post just keeps launching out of it. So we're gonna have to get some sort of pick, maybe a hammer. We're trying to melt the top layer of frozen dirt a little bit, so we can try and get it freed up. But she's pretty well froze. You know, there's always an extra bit of motivation when you rent a machine, right? On a day like this, if this was on one of our machines, we probably would not be working in these snowy, cold conditions. But since we have this machine for a week and about 40 hours, here we are, just trying to get these last posts in the ground around the farm here before we have to take the machine back. So another thing I like about this machine is it's actually pretty quick. You get the tracks into high gear, and what's nice about having to go around all this property all the way down there as far as you can see is you have to go around the farm multiple times to get the corner posts in, and then come back and do all of these the actual posts for the fence. So it's nice to have a machine that's quicker instead of using the old dinosaur in the corner that you've seen on the past of me operating. Is this one's much quicker and faster. Sometimes they break, sometimes they don't. We got to go under the wire here, make sure everything's lined up. Yeah. And sometimes we just give up because we definitely don't want to break. We don't want to break any of them. So I get the post here and I make sure that it lines up with the line. So my job is to keep it straight with the line, and Tom can see it from his direction in the machine. We got some brand new gloves today too. Some nice Ninja Ices. Not too shabby. That's what I do. We pick the posts up. We look for here's our paint mark. And then we got to get it under the wire that's here. There she goes. So there's a little bit of a lake here that we're going to try and cut across. When the lake freezes, we're actually going to run the fence across, maybe sink it down a little bit into the water so that when this water level rises up, we can, the fence will be a little underwater. So if the deer really want to get to it, they will have to do a little swimming. It's not too shabby, pretty straight, pretty good. That looks straighter. Still got to get out a little bit. There we go. Pull it back. There we go. We use this wire to make sure that we keep the line straight, so we know exactly where to put the posts so they don't zigzag around. And then I kind of help him make sure that he goes in the right direction, and he watches the other side as we're pushing it down into the ground. We have the post painted at the bottom so we know right where to stop. It's a pretty simple system, really. It's not too complicated. But of course, as we always like to say here on the farm, anything and everything that can go wrong will go wrong. So we the hose blew in about 2 spots right in here. Just blasting it all over. It's all up the side of the machine. Coated the ground with a nice yellow mist. So now we gotta wait to get that fixed before we can do anything else. It's perfect. So I wanted to actually get a closer look at the lake situation. Here's the property line. There's another stake there and another one right down here, right there. So the problem is do we want to cut all of this out and not be able to access this pond, and we got to put corner posts in, gone around it? But instead we're just going to try and run the fence down to this post once this starts to freeze a little bit better. I don't know, maybe should we test fate? Nope, it's okay. When this freezes more, we're going to run some fence from this all the way across. And this pond usually has much more water, but because of that drought we had in September, October, it's actually much lower, so we should be able to run some fence, and then the water will come up a little bit, and hopefully the only way they would get into the fence is if they wanted to be in that bad that they'll go swimming under and into the swamp. So in addition to running this top wire here, that's really tough to see, this is how we do our bracing. We do an H brace. You get your 2 bigger posts, and then you run one in the middle. We pull this back in because this is what's going to hold some tension, as well as the corners are made in a similar fashion. Well, if we did our job right, you can see how there's individual posts here in a line, but as we get directly behind them, they really start to straighten out. And that's what this wire is here for at the top, is to help us make sure we keep that straight line, and then we just make sure that we do a good job keeping it plumb. So I wanted to take a second to talk about the Fruit and Veggie Expo that I was just at. I spent a great hour at the Keystone Cooperative booth where we talked to a lot of people. We shot some stuff for their Facebook and Instagram stories where you could have won one of these hats here if you saw it and mentioned it at their table. Really looking forward to doing some more work with them. They had a great hospitality room where they're giving out some fantastic prizes. One gentleman went home with a Blackstone skillet, a Blackstone. So that's lucky. They gave away Yeti coolers, AirPods, all kinds of good stuff. So just another advantage of being part of that group is they really like to take care and give back to those who do business with them. So that was fantastic. Also have to thank the guys from AgroK, JP and Rick. Always great talking with them, and I'm hoping that we can get together here in the spring and kind of talk to you guys a little bit about some of the products that AgroK has. So it's going to be a little bit shorter of a video than normal, just because we didn't really have too much time to do a lot of filming. due to the fruit and veggie show. But again, thanks to the Keystone guys, Agro K, everybody involved. I had a great week. And if you guys missed any of the previous content on the channel, you can click on this video here. YouTube wants you to watch that one next. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.